Okay. Does somebody have a TV on too? Is there a TV in the background somewhere? No. Okay. All right. So there's a little delay. I'm going to wait a few more seconds. They get this about 20 seconds on Facebook after we're on. All right. All right, everybody. This is DJ Gill. This is the live stream version of the Power Pop Shop, usually on WNUR. And unfortunately, with this pandemic going on, like the station is not happening. So a few weeks ago, I decided to do this live stream deal where I'm lucky enough to have super talented people come on the show as guests and have them play some music for you guys live. And it's live right now on the Facebook, the Power Pop Shop page. And I'm going to add our special guest co-host, DJ BK, in the house today. And there he is, DJ BK.
Good to see you guys. Sorry it took me a while to get on. My eyesight is not what it used to be.
You had to do your hair and makeup. That's okay.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, it's great to see you guys.
Yeah, so I was just doing the little intro gig and just introduced you, and we've got our we've been doing this on Monday nights from 8:30 to 9:30, and tonight this is our out of town show. We've had on the show usually a Chicago artist. We had some great ones, and then somebody from out of town. And I think one night we had two Chicago, or one night I did all Chicago cats.
Right.
That was Gal Gunn and the Addisons, and I'm gonna forget the other band. They're all great.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got out of town guests. We're really psyched for it because they're super talented. We've got Ryan Allen from I'm gonna unmute his mic. Got Ryan Allen. Oh, Ryan's got to unmute his own mic, I think. Ryan,
all right.
You got it, brother. Okay. So Ryan from Extra Arms, just a killer power pop punk band out of Detroit Rock City, who I was lucky enough to have them play one of my Power Pop Shop showcases that unfortunately probably won't be doing for a little while, but they were a lot of fun.
Really good stuff, Ryan. Great.
In fact, when Ryan played Extra Arms played at the Montrose Saloon, which is one of my favorite places, and hopefully one day we will all be able, things will be open again. That'll be great. I think you pretty much blew the doors off that place. I don't think I've ever heard a band play that loud. And I mean that in like the best way.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried. Not that we're, playing arenas or anything like that, but we definitely, I think when we walked in and we had, half stack amps, cabs and heads and the whole I think that whoever was like the owner or the sound guy was like, oh shit, I don't had a band with amps this big play here before, but it ended up being great. And a weird like side note to that show is one of the bartenders was the drummer in a pretty like well-known Detroit punk band called the Laughing Hyenas, who
I know that.
John Brannon, who is a Negative Approach, and some other bands. He was kind of the leader of that band, and the drummer from that band was the bartender, and he was like, "Hey man, you guys ripped." And I was like, "Cool." This guy, like, you did a good job.
That's great.
You guys are awesome, and I know the owner there well. I love the place. DJ BK also. We go to a lot of shows there. There's a lot of people that we know because that's a real musician sort of hang out and people in the music scene. Very low key and cool. But I know for a fact that when you guys started, I think you might have even did a little sound check or something. And then Eric and the sound guy were like, "Oh my god," they were a little bit freaked out at the time.
Worried about the neighbors, probably.
Yeah.
But then Eric, the owner, kept running, which he usually does. Every time I have a show and would book bands there, I'm lucky enough to either I have a good enough ear or just lucky. But the bands have always been outstanding, and he always just runs over to me with the high fives. And like as soon as you guys started, he was like, "Oh man, fuck me, these guys are killer."
He was a wild man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good musician in his own right. Yeah, he plays in bands. He's cool. And we also want to give a huge welcome. Now it's Monday here. It is Tuesday where she is. Tuesday at like a little after 10:30 a.m. from Tokyo, Japan, from one of my favorite Japanese power pop bands, Asako. We want to welcome you to our Power Pop Shop live stream.
Hey,
So,
hey.
thank you for inviting me here. I'm so excited.
I'm excited because we've communicated a lot online on Instagram or Facebook, and so it's cool to I've seen photos of it. It was cool to see you like this, and to be able to like do this on the other side of the world that's actually one of the cool things about having to do this as a live stream.
Right. Just to build background, we had a guy on a couple of weeks ago from South Africa, and it was 3 a.m. Now that's dedication.
Yeah. And I didn't know that he couldn't play. He's great. Their band's called the Cudas, Cudas, and he's a really talented cat. And like the songs, he does it all himself. But it's rock. It's rock, and he puts everything in full band.
Yeah.
And we didn't know that he couldn't actually play because it was 3 a.m. and him and his wife live in an apartment building. So, but we did like a little rap session. We're psyched that you guys can play.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Ryan. Asako's band is the Maltese, by the way, and they put out a great album. It's called Sun Crush, right? That last one, full length, and then you had an EP, I think, after that. And both of you guys, both Ryan and Asako and their bands, you guys write such great hooks, within the framework of like some really cool music and nothing cheesy at all. But the hooks I love because they're music. It's a power pop shop, but like the hooks are always so strong. But not in a grating way, like, that you're just like, oh my God, I can't stand this. They're just there. And then you guys both also are very good at like knowing that harmonies is like a really great element to have, like when you have big guitars. I always love that combination. And both of you really do a great job on that, like as well. So it's awesome stuff.
Thank you.
So Ryan, just quickly go. I know you're going to play a few songs for us. Each of them are going to play a few songs. We're going to start with Ryan from Extra Arms. How are things in Detroit? How's everything with everything?
I don't know. I've been stuck. I have no fucking idea. I mean, this is the weirdest time to be alive in 100 years. Yeah. So everybody that I know, is doing the same thing pretty much. I mean, I'm in Michigan, so we have we got hit pretty bad. And actually, in the city that I live in, is one of the sort of like hotbeds for the virus. So it's a little bit freaky. Obviously, I'm lucky that like my parents and like pretty much anyone I know that I'm close to has not gotten it, although that isn't really true, probably because more people have had it than that have been documented, right? Like I myself am 99.9% sure that I had it. Yeah. I was traveling. I was in California, like the sort of day after that it was reported that it had hit the U.S. or whatever, and
yeah.
And I got super, super sick, like sicker than I'd ever been, like couldn't breathe. Like I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, so it wasn't nearly as bad as, people are getting it. But like, it's weird. It's been a very frustrating time, a very like, not to get like incredibly political, but like our president is a fucking mess. And
no politics aside.
No apologies. I'm not going to get into anything heavy, but we're on the same team. I'll go as far as that.
So it's embarrassing to say the least, and so there's a lot of like anger and frustration. But kind of through that, there's been a lot of creativity. There's been a lot of family time. I've been able to spend a ton of time with my son, who would be at school. Which I would rather him be at school.
Right.
Like the traditional sense, but. We've been able to do a ton of things together, just kind of like watch a bunch of movies. He loves basketball and he's really good at it. And so we've been playing a ton of basketball in the driveway. Yeah. I bought a skateboard. He's 9, or he'll be 9 in July. Cool. So, we've been doing stuff like that where we've just been like going to, like the school that I live down the street from and skateboarding, in the parking lot. So like, the obvious reasons why this is sad and depressing and terrible and everything else is is clear, but like there are silver linings in it, and I guess you gotta just kind of like hook yourself to them when they come along.
Yeah.
So you don't like completely lose, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can get pretty frustrating and a little depressing, but there's some good things too. And hopefully we'll treat each other better, the planet better. There'll be some good things that come out of it. And this is one way, of course, music. I know, we'll see. This is, music is one thing that's a great distraction. It's a great way to like,
absolutely, man.
Minds off it. Whether you're creating it or playing it like you're going to do live right now, I think that's a really great thing for people. It's really healing. So now I'll just quickly get into your last album was fantastic. I mean, if I was the type of person that did like, what's my 5 best albums of 2019, like you would have been on it. But I don't like to do that because I feel like if you do a radio show, you're playing so many bands, like you don't want to be like, it's different if you're a writer or whatever.
People will get jealous.
People would be like, I don't want to send you my stuff, man, or why don't you like my music?
They'll send me hate mail.
Yeah, they'll send you hate mail,
But like
only at the top, Ryan.
And by the way, we all love, of course, DJ BK is a huge fan, and so is Ryan. I already know this. I have my Sloan shirt on.
Yeah, I just have a old radio station.
Yeah, because Ryan played
Valentine shirt on.
Yeah. Nice. I love that. My Bloody Valentine's awesome, dude. They're a great band. I've been a big fan of them too. So you guys played, which is really cool. Like a band that I work with here, Bishop's Daredevil Stunt Club. We played a couple shows with you guys.
Yeah.
And it was cool because we always did like the Sloan mashup where they would play Money City and you come out and like kick it with them, which was cool.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So you can see those videos on the Power Pop Shop page too. All right, so Up From Here is a pretty personal album, man, and it's not hard to figure out what it's about, to be honest with you, like when you listen to it, which I did today again, and I love it. So it must have been a good catharsis for you to get that out there. And
it was scary, to write that about something that raw and that kind of, I mean, you're writing about real people and real things, and people are going to hear it and all that stuff, and I mean, I'm not out to hurt anyone, and so I was kind of something that like I just couldn't help but do. Like every time I would write a song, I would say to myself, like, I'm not gonna write about this. I'm gonna write about something else. And then I just kept coming back to it, and it started to sort of like, formulate itself almost on its own, like without me really being like, I was certainly conscious of it, but like at the same time, it really kind of took on its own life. And I just kind of like followed it, I mean, I wrote other songs that weren't about what the record's about, and they just didn't feel authentic to me, Yeah,
and I mean, really, it starts off, man. That first song, you're like, whoa, it's a great song, and like I think a lot of people can relate to that. And if you're older, like you've been around like I have, or DJ BK, all of us have been through what you've gone through, because that's just how it is. You're gonna have relationships, and eventually, sometimes not in the best way, relationships will come to their natural end.
Well, ends, man. I mean, that's like the reality of life.
Yeah, but then you get a great new thing, right? So, and then you learn, and hopefully it's better than the last one.
Right.
We all get over our first big crushes in high school, I hope. Maybe not.
Drew Barrymore, still waiting for your phone call.
Let me check and see if in comment.
Why don't you? Why don't you play a few for us? Why don't we'll try, usually what we do is you play a song, we'll just like, just quickly rap about it, and then just, we'll do up to 3 songs, then we're gonna head to Tokyo after that. We'll get some great Asako songs too. Cool. So if you want to try the trick, you can go ahead and do that cam, just go to cam mic, and if you want to, disable the audio processing, I think you'll find you sound better, and then I'll mute everybody else.
Yeah, before I do it, I'll just say that this song is this is not on our last record. I haven't played the song I'm going to play here in a million years. It's on my 3rd solo record, and the only reason I'm playing it is because a blog called Sweet Music came out with their like top 100 power pop songs of the century today, and this was the 15th best song. I don't know why or how. So I figured I should play it. So let me set up this audio thing, and then I'll do it.
Yeah, no pressure there. Okay.
All right, this is called Chasing a Song.
On like a tidal wave, like the heat of the summer, babe, and I can't escape. It's me like a lightning bolt, shock to the system, I feel the jolt, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Chasing a song. On like a fever, babe, and I'm the receiver, babe, and I can't escape. It's me like a boxing glove, and for 3 minutes I'm in love on a first date, on a first date. I'm chasing a song.
Sounding good.
Nice, man. Nice job.
Did it.
That was great.
I did it.
That is the 15th greatest power pop song ever played, ever written.
Since 2000, right?
Since 2000, okay?
Okay.
Really?
We're not talking about Frosting on the Beater stuff or Lemonhead.
Exactly. It's not getting twisted.
Hey, Ryan, I do have a question because I was thinking, the style of music we play with great energy, rock and roll and stuff. Do you do most of your writing off acoustic guitar? Does some of the stuff just come to you like when you're, with when you're wailing away with your bandmates?
I would say most of my songs are written on acoustic. Some of the ones on the last record that are a little bit like more riff heavy or kind of punkier, like definitely like originated from just kind of goofing around on the electric. But I pretty much write everything and demo everything before I bring it to the band, and play kind of all the instruments myself. My first 3 records, I play everything on all bass, drums, guitar, pretty much. But then, you know, you kind of get bored doing it that way. So the band kind of came together after my 3rd solo record, and then we made the 4th record called Headacher as a band, you know. And so even though I still like demoed stuff, like it definitely takes on a life of its own in a different form once you're in a room with everybody and you're kind of wailing away on it. So it's kind of a hybrid, you know, kind of starting off raw and just like, you know, whatever. And then get in a room with the band and it's like, oh, this stuff, you know, it's cool.
You got some really talented guys in your band too, man. They're really good.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, right. They're not bad. Your drummer's not bad. He's okay.
Yeah, they're great. I miss them. You know, I miss hanging out with them and playing with them.
Yeah, you guys did a video, right? Like to put it together. What did you do? Did you record your audio track separately so it sounded right, and then like record yourself over the track on video, like each of you? Or
yeah, so we did a video. We put it out on Wednesday for a song from the record called Up From Here. And it's just kind of like an uplifting, like hopeful song that kind of ends the record kind of on a high note. And it seemed like something that we should do, just like, you know, like the world, not like the world needs the extra, you know, to heal it. But, you know, it certainly felt like this is a good song for this moment. And so we just each shot our own parts on our phones ourselves, you know, like just set up in different areas of our houses, and just like I just played the song from Spotify on my laptop and then just like mimed along to it, you know. That's what they did too, and then they just sent it to me and cut it together, and it turned out pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah, it is. I watched it. It was a fun video because you guys are having fun and it's a rocking song, so it was cool to watch you guys like goof around.
Yeah, we wanted it to be lighthearted and just, you know, our buddy, his name is Ian Fowles, but his stage name is Eagle Bones Falcon Hawk, and he is the guitar player.
I know that guy.
In the band called the Aquabats, who are a children.
Oh, the Aquabats are cool, yeah.
Yeah. So we're friends with those guys, and he actually played the guitar solo on the recording of that song.
Oh, cool.
We recorded it in California, where really close to where those guys live. And so he came and played the solo on it. It was great and whatever. And then, you know, we were doing the video. We were like, hey, can you do this? Can you be in this thing? And can you wear your costume? And so at a certain point in the video, not to spoil the surprise, but he shows up in his like Aquabats mask and full on costume, and it's pretty cool.
I watched the video and I thought, then he came in and I thought it was funny, but I thought it was just like a friend of yours and you just thought who's sort of a crazy dude, and you said, oh, you can be in the video, pretend you're playing the guitar.
Like a celebrity.
I didn't know it was the Aquabats guy, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, man. Well, why don't you rock us another tune, man?
Yeah. I think my son's.
And Asako, thank you for your patience on this too. Look forward to hearing from you as well. So.
Sorry, my kid just entered the picture.
I thought maybe you had some Green Lantern. You had some Green Lantern pizza that was being delivered or something.
Oh no, yeah, that'd be good though.
There's our basketball star.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess since we were just talking about that video, I should just play the song.
Yeah, a great song, yeah. And then people can check out the video because they'll dig the song.
Yeah, what a segue that I didn't even plan on.
Nice.
Let me just tune real quick.
What are we hearing? What's the tune called?
So we're going to hear the song called Up From Here from the record Up From Here. by the band Extra Arms that I play in.
The Power Pop Shop Home Edition. Home School.
Yeah. That's a great band, man. You guys got to check them out online.
Sorry, this is like the awkward tuning moment.
You know, I've been watching a lot of shows online, and there's a lot of tuning between songs. You don't have your guitar tech there, Ryan.
I don't have one at all.
What?
If you take too much time, Asako's gonna just jump in with the guitar and start playing.
I'm good. I'm ready. All right, let me do the trick here. Trick is being deployed.
Nice.
Here we go.
Nice work, man. Great song. That song translates very well acoustically. Also.
We saw your guitar.
Your son was like
there too.
Yeah, your son was definitely rocking it in the background.
He's skateboarding, man. He's a true punk.
It's funny because looking behind
you guys have a half pipe in your basement.
You know, not yet, but that might be the next step here if this lasts any long.
There's a bright glow behind you too. I thought maybe that's the sun bursting through Detroit only over there, right?
This thing, yeah. This is my girlfriend is a well, she's not really anymore, but she went to school for photography, so she's got a bunch of like photography equipment everywhere. And I actually used it. I did a live stream concert on Saturday, and like, you know, set up some mics and some lights and stuff, and just like is using that to bounce. I know
it's so well lit right now.
So, Ryan, what are some of your? I know that you're a big Sloan fan because we've talked about that a bunch. But
Yeah.
what are some of the other bands that like you really dig, like that influenced you?
Oh my God.
I know. It's probably a long list. I know. I put you a lot of pressure on you. I'm always surprised. Like people like always like come up with there's always one band. You're like, yeah, like you're surprised. You know, like I've had people who I just rockers and power pop, and they're like, yeah, they go through like the ones you expect, and then they're like, and George Michael, you know, and I'm like, okay, like he had some great stuff, but you know, like sometimes there's a surprise in there, like you know.
Yeah, for me, my like surprise bands maybe are In Excess.
I love NXS.
Duran Duran.
I love them.
So those are certainly big like influences, I guess, as a kid. You know, I mean, those were things I was hearing on the radio and just like feeling like, oh, like these songs have like a hook, and they drew me in before I really even understood why that was. You know, and then of course, you know, as a teenager, like I fell in love with like indie rock in the '90s. So Super Chunk, Super Drag, Super Grass,
Super Crush, Super Deluxe.
all the super bands.
A lot of good power pop bands have super in it.
That's true. But I love the Kinks and Elvis Costello and the Rolling Stones. I love REM.
REM's great. I haven't heard Beatles mentioned.
Beatles, yeah, of course, the Beatles. My dad is a huge Beatles fan. You know, a lot of like Paul Simon in the house. Like Graceland was a huge record, you know, that we listened to a lot on like a lot of like family trips. You know, and I got like hit by the grunge bug at a very early age. You know, 11 years old. I was in 1991. I was 11, and Nevermind came out, and it just blew my mind. You know, I was the right age, right time, into the right things. You know, so like Pearl Jam and you know, Soundgarden, all that stuff, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, one thing I loved about the Posies and the Prostate on the Beater, which is one of the all-time great power pop albums of all time, was how they used it's like grungy guitars, but then it was just like this super hooky, like cool, like melodic stuff. Like they took grunge. It's like grunge power pop, you know.
There's like an interesting thing about them, I feel like, because they're from Seattle.
Yeah.
And their first couple of records are not like that. You know, they're a lot more like jangly.
Yep. Do you know why that album turned out how it did?
How?
Are you putting me on the spot here?
No, I know. So I'm going to tell you.
Yes, please do.
So because I met the guy, he's from this area. He's a famous guy. He was the A&R guy for Motley Crue, and there's all sorts of photos of him just debauchery, like, you know, with the band, and also Guns N' Roses. His name's I got to look him up now. Mark Watson knows him. DJ BK. They grew up like near each other. Tom something. He was in the power pop. He also found Sloan. He's the A&R guy. He started working with Sloan. I've met him a couple times, and we hung out at a Sloan show. Nice job. And he also told me, and then I've read this story before. They were like super unhappy with Sloan. Geffen was with Twice Removed, which is one of the, you know, great power pop albums of all time, because they thought the guitars weren't like big enough and grungy enough. And they also signed the Posies, and the Posies turned in their album, which was like their Dear 23, which was much more organic sounding, like you said, Beatlesque. And so they told both bands, let's re-record this and let's just get huge guitars, grungy guitars on this, because that's what's happening. Sloan said, you know what? We think we did a great album. We're not going to do it. Screw it. We're leaving the album the way it is. Yeah, and then of course off they went to Toronto and almost broke up. And the Posies went back into the studio and re-recorded everything with the huge grungy guitars. Completely different album. That changed it. Right. But it turned out to be like a total classic. So,
well, you know, both records benefited from the decisions that were made, probably, because Twice Removed probably is my favorite Sloan record, really, when it comes right down to it. You know, is the one that like I was aware of them when it came out, but like I wasn't like I don't remember buying it in the record store like the day it was released or anything. But like that's the record that I was like, this band is like my Beatles.
Yeah.
And then Posey's record is the best Posey's record.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. By far the best Posey's record.
Yeah. I played a show with John Auer in Sweden once in a different band that I was in. And he was rad. He played solo and it was awesome. And he played Dream All Day.
Yeah, sweet.
Into Don't Fear the Reaper. It was awesome.
I've seen them do that live too with full band. They like to do
I
that.
can see that. Sure.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And I'll tell you a quick NXS story, and then I'll let you play because I don't want to leave Asako waiting. This is just because I love NXS, and you said you love NXS, and I'm older than you, so for me, that was a huge band like in college, and I was a college radio DJ and all that. So when I was in college, I went to see them in like 1986. We drove with my buddies, were in my hometown, Buffalo, in the old theater that's still there called Shays. It's like going to the Fox Theater in Detroit.
Yeah.
And so NXS was playing. I'd seen them before too, and they're one of the best live bands I've ever seen to this day. And so they were putting on this amazing show. They had that album. Was it? I don't know. I'm too old to remember. Listen Like Thieves.
Yeah.
But they were just rocking it out like big time. It was a great show. We had seats like in the first row of the balcony. We had great seats. And they came back out for the encore. People were going absolutely insane because they had some great songs on the encore. And it was like the second song of the encore, and everybody's standing up dancing. And we realized that like the balcony is bouncing like up and down like pretty hard. Like at first it was sort of funny. Then it was like, wait a second, what's going on? Almost like an earthquake. Like it's really bouncing up and down. And so we looked at each other and we're like, shit, this thing's gonna fucking collapse, man. Like NXS is gonna bring this whole like, theater, old classic theater down. And they actually came right out. The security came running out and they like stepped like this. They stopped the show right in the middle of that song. And
Wow.
then everybody like streamed out as fast as they could because it was an old building and started to like come undone. And that was NXS, but they can claim anything. They basically, NXS closed Shays Theater for like a year for like major renovations.
Wow.
But now it's still there.
Gun tour.
Yeah.
Probably all the saxophone.
Yeah, it was all the saxes. And they had some heavy bass too, man. They had some good
They were like weirdly like this Motown, like secret Motown band.
Yeah, they had a lot of funk in their music. Yeah.
It was something about it, just like them and like I said, Duran Duran and just like some of that stuff in the 80s that like combined dance music with pop. Like really got me. And like it's funny because like before like the power pop thing that I started to do, which I always done, I was in a band called Thunderbirds Are Now, which was like more of a post-punk Gang of Four kind of like choppy guitar kind of thing. Like that was the band that I was in, like toured and did a bunch of stuff and like whatever. So like that kind of music sort of came and found me again at some point in my life.
Cool, man. Well, why don't you finish up this awesome set with one more song, and then we're gonna talk to Asako for a while too, because she's all the way in Tokyo. But so go ahead, man. Finish your set here, man. Rock us out.
Yeah, she's so polite and
I know she's so
Thank you so much for your patience.
Listen to three dudes just blab about power pop.
I think Asako knows a lot about power pop too.
No, I'm not doubting it. It's just
So listen to us blab about it. So listen to three music geeks talk about power pop.
Anyway,
what's this guy doing here all together?
We're talking about bands we love and influences and stuff. So I was gonna play a song. I should just play an NXS song, but I'll play.
Sometimes we can't.
We'll play a song by a band that I love called Teenage Fan Club.
I heard of that.
Yep.
There you go. It's called The Concept.
She wears denim wherever she goes. Says she's gonna get some records by the status quo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Says she likes her crew, cause we're going to slack. Oh yeah. When she's at the gig, she takes her car, she drives us home. There isn't a bar. Oh yeah. I didn't want to hurt you. Oh yeah. I didn't want to hurt you. Oh yeah. I didn't want to hurt you. Oh yeah.
All right.
It's tough to know like how long you should play that because the outro on the
Don't do it. Don't do it.
do it,
Don't
do it.
No.
Power Pop Shop breaks all the rules because the outro is really long on that song. So which you sounded great, but I was wondering like how long you were gonna like go with it.
Not long enough to torture anyone.
That's an all-time great power pop song. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
It's a classic.
It is a classic. And they name check Status Quo, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ryan, man, thank you so much for participating in our Power Pop Shop show. And I'm psyched when we get back on air because I've always played your stuff and will do. And it's totally awesome, man.
Yeah, man. We and I appreciate the support, and hopefully whenever we can get back to it, we'll come back down to Chicago and we'll play some shows and hang out. And
man.
Really just appreciate you.
Yeah, you got to blow the doors off of Macho Saloon again.
That's right.
Well, we got to play that place NXS played and break the.
See if you can shut them down.
If you can play at Shays, man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
all right,
cool.
Thanks so much, man. All right, we'll see you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, brother.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you too, buddy.
All right, the best for last.
Yay, Asako. I'm sorry. I know it took a little while, but we were having fun.
You were so patient.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm Japanese, so.
So we are excited because all the way from Tokyo, it is now 11:15 in Tokyo time.
Mm-hmm.
And your band is called the Maltese.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, you can check them out. I know they have an active Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Facebook page, a little harder to find because on Instagram you have the English on the title. I don't know that you do on Facebook. But you know what? If you want to know more about the band, you can contact me at the Power Pop Shop and send me a message, and I'll send you all the links to all their music because it's fantastic. And the full-length album that I got turned on to was called Sun Crush. There's DJ BK has it right there. You want to show it? I'll give you the solo. Yeah.
Sun Crush.
Yeah.
Sun Crush. There's also an EP online that's really good too. That was like maybe a couple years after Sun Crush, right? So that was really good too. So now Japan is definitely DJ BK and I are big fans of power pop, and we know that Japan really likes power pop. Is that right, Asako? Japan and power pop are together, right? Very popular. Power pop in Japan.
Yeah, but
Very popular.
so popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a scene. There are people. It's always going back to like when I think of like Cheap Trick and different things. Like Japan's always embraced like Beatles throughout the like big guitar. I know there's dance music and other things that are very popular there, but yeah, it seems like power pop's always been a good thing in Japan.
Yeah.
So do you want to play? If you're gonna play so you can play up to 3 songs.
Yeah. Yes, and actually, it's my very first time play on stream. So I'm so thrilled to be here.
Oh, great.
Well, we're very excited that you're here.
For us. I love that.
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and play a song, you can do that trick that I showed you guys earlier, but if you don't, that's okay too. But what it is, if you remember, you just click on the bottom cam mic there, and then audio on the left side, and then you just click, and then you click the box that says disable audio process, and you can actually click it on, and then you may sound a little better. The stream might sound better for your music, but after you play a song, if we want to talk to you, you have to like click it off. But if you don't want to do it, don't bother with it. Don't worry about it. You can just play.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to just play, go ahead. All right. So here's Asako from the Maltese. This might be your first live stream in the USA, right?
Yeah.
Is this your first live stream USA?
Yeah.
Okay. So we
we
are an exclusive. I think it's in the USA. Okay. So let's do it. I'm gonna put you on.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a couple of songs from now. My song is almost Japanese, so I'm worrying about if you understand my words or not. Though I sing with heart, so I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. The first song is Orange. 서둘리 지가지리길라 그냥 눈이 서둘러갈라 서둘리 지가지리길라 Thank you.
Yeah. That was great. Thank you so much. That was awesome. You have such nice, I don't know, if you know, hooks in your music. Like the melody is just like, you know, that they're very strong, very good, very good.
Thank you very much.
DJ BK, you were muted, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably for the best. Asako, I was wondering if that song was on your newer EP or your album.
No, new.
It's new?
Former single.
Oh, single.
Oh, single. Nice. Awesome.
Excellent. Sounded very good.
Yes, that sounded awesome. So you have friends on here. You have friends on here, and they're commenting. I don't know if they're friends, but they're fans in Japan. Risa Ito, is she a friend or fan? Yes, Risa.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm pronouncing her first name. Yai Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're listening. So thanks, guys. We want to say hi to you guys in Japan and Tokyo.
Thank you
And we
very
really
much.
appreciate you tuning in. This is Chicago, USA, home of the. Years ago, I would have said home of the Chicago Bulls, but I'll say home of the. I don't know, Chicago hot dogs.
Of the Chicago coronavirus.
The Chicago Blackhawks a few years ago, I would have said. We can still say home of the Blackhawks, I think. All right. So somebody said, wow. So Asako, you are working on new album, right? You told me new?
Yeah, new. But not album. Couple of songs.
Songs. Okay.
I want to release on download. Digital download. Yeah, only
Okay.
maybe, I think.
Okay, so they'll be available for digital download when they're ready.
Mm-mm.
So Todd said, I said Chicago home of, he said deep dish pizza, which is totally true, Todd. It's just that I am not a fan of Chicago deep dish pizza because I'm originally an East Coast guy. So I'm a fan of Jimmy's. I know everybody's going to boo me. I'm a fan of Jimmy's. It's the only New York style pizza in the Chicago that's worth anything. All right, so enough about pizza in Chicago and whatever. So you want to play another song for us?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Awesome.
So the next song is the cover from my favorite 90s movie, The Thing You Do. You doing that thing you do, and breaking my heart into a million pieces, like you always do. And don't mean to be cruel, you never ever without the heartache I've been going through. When I try to forget you, done, but it's just so hard to do. Every time I do the thing you tell, I go back into things. I'm gonna find a way to let you know that you'll be mine someday. 'Cause we'll be happy to see. If you only let me be the one to hold you and keep you here with me. 'Cause it's hard me so just to see you good and let me inside my room. Every time I do that thing to tell, I don't ask a lot, girl. I don't know thing for sure. It's a love I haven't let go, and you just can't take it anymore. Woo! Cause we are beginning to see you lit up. I want to hold you and keep you here with me. Cause you got me inside just to see you there. And then it's our morning. And if I know you're doing that thing every day, just doing that thing, I can't take you doing that thing with you. Thank you.
Here's to Adam Schlesinger and Mike Viola, right?
Yep, Adam Schlesinger and Mike Viola. Adam, of course, unfortunately, is not with us because of this pandemic. So we are rest in peace to him. Super talented guy. That was awesome, Asako. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's a great movie too, right? It's a great movie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
English was very good. English was very good.
That is an excellent choice. That's a perfect choice. It's a great power pop song, for sure. Do you like Fountains of Wayne? Did you like that band, Fountains of Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, why don't you do one more? Can you do one more song for us?
Okay, so
This will be an original.
yeah. The last song is the Maltese song. Yeah, Doshaburi Day, which means heavy rain day.
Oh, sounds cool. Okay.
Perfect. We just had one.
Yeah, we just had one. We did.
Yay.
Okay, great song. That sounded great. I know that song from Sun Crush, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
You make a heavy rain day sound happy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I really like that song. When I first heard the Maltese Sun Crush, I played it like for a whole week straight because the hooks were so great. But like, I would just hear all this great hooks and harmonies, and the language didn't matter to me at all. That I didn't understand the words because it was just you didn't need to. It was just the feel of the song. You know, great power pop music is great. It doesn't matter what language it's in.
Absolutely.
That was outstanding. I think, and you have some fans here, maybe from our country too. Todd, I think he's a fan. I think it might have even been how I found out about your band originally. And I don't know if Matt was already a fan, but he loved that song too. So you may have made some new fans, which is cool.
We're all about here, right?
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much because I'm so psyched, when I remember us saying we have to get you to the US, when things are normal. So you
have you played in the US before?
Yeah. I have not.
Okay.
Soon, I hope.
Yeah, I want to go to there and play.
Yeah, we'll work something out. The bands I work with here on Big Blast Records, and a couple of bands there we'll swap and we'll exchange. We'll go there. You come here. It'll be this all-star, all-world power pop extravaganza. It'll be awesome. Wow, thank you so much. And it's early there now. You like we're gonna have to get ready. I'm gonna have my bedtime snack and wind down, and then you've got your whole day ahead of you. It looks sunny. Is it sunny there?
Yeah, rainy.
Oh, rainy. I can't.
Heavy rain day.
Yeah, I'm really good at predicting weather, I guess, out of windows.
It's hard to tell. It does look
It's hard to tell. It does look really bright. It looks
so nice and bright.
Yes. Yes, it's very bright. Thank you so much. I'm gonna I'll edit the videos. The recording will be up on the Facebook page, and then you can just edit. I'm gonna I'll tag you. I'm gonna make separate videos probably of a few of the songs, so that just people can just watch the one video too of the song.
Asako, how soon will your next single be ready?
Maybe June.
All right, next month.
Yeah, maybe June or July, I think.
Okay. So you send it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, send it to me. I love it.
That'd be great.
All right, Asako, thank you so much, and thanks for everybody who tuned in to the Power Pop Shop Homeschool Edition. I think it's Volume 4, and DJ PK again for co-hosting. And
I keep learning every time, every school edition. I always learn something. So
yeah, you bring a lot. You bring a lot to the table, man. a lot of insight. All right, so thank you, Asako. It's great to talk to you. I'll be talking to you online or somewhere. All right, bye.
Stay healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.